August 28th, 2023. I arrived at Redwood Asylum this morning, and man, the vibe here is straight out of a horror movie. The place is shrouded in this perpetual fog that gives off serious gothic nightmare vibes. I'm here to look into an orderly's death, but the staff? Yeah, they're acting all kinds of sketchy, like they've got some major secrets to hide. I can't believe I'm staying here for a whole week. August 29th, 2023. Talk about a long, draining day. I spent it trying to get some sense out of the staff and patients here. And let me tell you, it's like piecing together a jigsaw puzzle without the damn picture on the box. The stuff these patients are saying is all over the place. Super paranoid, talking about shadowy figures creeping through the halls at night. And they keep mentioning this monster that supposedly haunts this place. Every time someone whispers, "the monster walks," it sends a shiver down my spine. It's getting to me more than I want to admit. This place, the stories, the way people act, it's like they really believe something is lurking around here. August 30th, 2023. Man, this place is a maze. Walking the corridors of Redwood is like trying to navigate some kind of twisted labyrinth. Today was freaky. I kept thinking I saw someone watching me from just around the corner. Every time I tried to catch up, poof, they were gone. Nothing there but the echo of my steps bouncing off the old walls. This building isn't just old and creepy, it's like it's got a life of its own. It creaks and groans, almost like it's breathing and not in a good way. There's a sinister vibe to it that's hard to shake off. Feels like the walls are not just watching, but listening in too. And it doesn't help that there's a raging storm outside. August 31st, 2023. Last night was rough. Really rough. Couldn't catch a break from these wild nightmares that had me running through an endless maze of city alleys, chasing after the shadows of my family. They were calling out for help, their voices echoing into nothing. But every time I almost reached them, they just vanished into thin air. Waking up from that felt like a punch to the gut. I was totally disoriented, my heart racing, and this deep gut-wrenching sense of loss just hanging over me. It's like those dreams are pulling up feelings I've tried hard to lock down, making the lines between what's real and what's not start to blur. Man, I hate this place. September 1st, 2023. Every night, it's the same creepy routine. I keep hearing these faint, weird sounds, like someone's reading or chanting somewhere in the distance. Every time I try to track it down, it just leads me to rooms that are completely empty. And man, the chill in those rooms, it's like stepping into a freezer. There's this vibe that the walls themselves are soaked in some kind of dark history, echoing back horrors that no one's talking about. It's getting to me, making the nights here feel even longer and a lot more unnerving. September 2nd, 2023. Spent another day talking to more patients, and the way they talk about the monster is seriously unsettling. They describe it like some kind of shadow lurking around, not just scaring, but actually preying on people, alive or dead. It's tough to keep my usual skeptic's hat on when the fear in their eyes is so raw and real. Part of me starts to wonder if there's some truth to their tales, despite how crazy it sounds. This whole place has a way of making the unbelievable seem not so far-fetched. But then I have to remind myself, I'm in an asylum, surrounded by people whose perceptions of reality are deeply compromised. How much can I really take at face value? September 3rd, 2023. Today, an encounter with one of the patients left me rattled. An old man, his eyes disturbingly lucid compared to the others, stopped me in the hallway. He looked straight into my soul. "You're here to find yourself, detective," he whispered with a sly, knowing smirk. The strangeness of his remark lingered with me as I requested to see the body of the murdered orderly, hoping to glean some evidence or insight. However, my request was flatly denied. The staff cited procedural and safety reasons. but their evasive responses only fueled my suspicions. Why won't they let me see the body? What are they hiding? This denial has thrown more fuel on the fire of my unease, making the old man's words echo even louder in my mind. September 4th, 2023. Today, I dug deeper into the senior orderly's background, and something just feels wrong. His records have gaps, missing details that shouldn't be overlooked. Whenever I question him, he gives these canned responses like he's practiced them, rehearsed every word to keep me from seeing what's really going on. Each time I press him, the air around us changes, thick and heavy, as if the asylum itself is warning me to back off. It's like this place is somehow alive, protecting its own secrets. Tonight, the whispering was louder than ever, practically surrounding me. It's not just faint murmurs anymore. It's like voices pressing in from every corner, taunting me to keep going, almost challenging me to push deeper. The sounds are blending with the creaks of the building and the howling wind outside, growing stronger as I listen. I don't know what's real anymore. I'm starting to sound like one of these patients. September 5th, 2023. The asylum's archive feels like a crypt, dust-covered shelves stuffed with files, stories that have been left to decay. While digging through the records tonight, I found an old logbook, its pages yellowed and frayed. One entry stood out. It detailed a patient who'd been admitted here about 10 years ago for murder. No name, just a number, like they wanted to erase every trace of this person's identity. The strangest part, I don't even remember leaving the archive. One minute I was reading that logbook, and the next I was waking up in my room with no idea how I got here. It's horrifying to think I lost time, especially while buried in records about a killer. I need to find out more. I need to question this patient if they're still here. But honestly, after tonight, every instinct I have is telling me to leave, to get off this godforsaken island. But with the storm howling outside, there's no way out. I'm stuck here, trapped by the weather. Just do your job, James. You'll get out of here soon. September 6th, 2023. I confronted the director today, demanded some answers. She just sat there, eerily calm like she'd been expecting it. She told me I should take a break, that the stress of this case might be getting to me. Her tone was almost condescending, like I was the one losing control. But I've noticed the way the staff and patients look at me now, with something that feels a lot like fear or concern. They're hiding something. I can feel it. Every glance, every whispered conversation that cuts off when I walk by, it's all building up to something they're not telling me. It's like they're all in on a secret that I'm the last to know. September 7th, 2023. I keep catching glimpses of people peeking around corners, shadows slipping away just as I get close. Last night, it hit a new level. There was someone standing in the corner of my room, just watching me. For a brief, terrifying second, I thought it was my wife. Something about the shape, the way the shadow hung in the air. But when I turned on the light, there was nothing there, just an empty corner and a cold, hollow feeling that wouldn't leave. Today, I finally asked about Patient X, the designation I've given to the patient I found in the archives, the one who supposedly murdered his entire family. When I questioned the staff, they exchanged uneasy glances before one of them told me that Patient X is extremely dangerous and completely unstable. They insisted they couldn't risk letting me anywhere near him. Their refusal only made me more suspicious. Why hide him from me? What aren't they telling me? It feels like I'm on the brink of something big, something dark. Whatever this place is hiding, I need to know. Tonight, I'm going to find the truth. September 9th, 2023. Today, things took a turn. The staff barely even try to hide it now. They're constantly watching me, shadowing my every step. I confronted one of the orderlies, demanded to know why they're treating me like a suspect instead of a detective. He just looked at me with this strange mix of pity and, was that fear? He said I needed to rest, that it was protocol for someone in my condition. My condition? I pressed him and he backed away. The whispers are louder than ever, circling around me like a swarm, all echoing that same word, monster. I caught my reflection in a window, and for a split second I barely recognized myself. My face looked different, strained, haunted, like a man who's seen things he can't unsee. Then, just when I thought I might finally have the truth within reach, 3 orderlies appeared out of nowhere. They told me I needed to come with them, for my own safety, and I had to return to my room. The way they looked at me, like I was a cornered animal. I felt the needle before I even registered what was happening. Everything went hazy, but I could hear one of them saying, "Patient X is secure. Taking him back to his room now." Who's Patient X? Why do they keep hiding this person from me? I'm so close to the truth. I know it. I just need... Patient X, real name James Holden, remains under strict observation. Following the brutal murder of his wife and children, James developed a severe psychosis, creating an alternate persona, a detective investigating a murder to cope with his guilt. This delusion allows him to view himself as an investigator rather than the perpetrator of the crime. He often references a monster that he believes other patients fear, unaware that he invented this monster himself, likely a projection of his subconscious guilt. His violent tendencies resurface unpredictably, so all interactions require caution. Tonight, after he became agitated while discussing Patient X, staff sedated him to prevent further escalation. Additional treatment will be necessary to address his denial and violent impulses, though it is unlikely he will ever fully confront the truth of his actions.